Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another incredible, exciting, special guest episode of the Real Film Nerds Podcast. My name is Matt, as always, one of the now Trace hosts of the pod. With me, not always, a young lady here on the other side of the planet as well, Maniacal Mags. Mags, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you, Maddie Cakes. I appreciate that.
So, Maniacal Mags, your husband is sitting next to you.
He is.
How much did he pay for you to come on this podcast? Are you getting a new car?
No. Well, we already did get that. It was kind of like a birthday present.
Okay. Okay. So
we did.
This is you paying the car back. Got it.
Sure. Yep. We'll go with that.
Okay. All right. So Mags is here, and as always, Mysterious Mike Talent. How are you, young man?
I'm good. It's nice to have my wife on this, so this should be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun for me, that's for sure. Usually I'm the one sitting there listening after the podcast is already out there, and I'm like, I would have said this, I would have said that. So finally, now I get to have my say. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it'll be great. I think it might have to become somewhat permanent. Although, you got some things going on soon, so I don't know how permanent this will keep going. We'll see.
Right. Yeah.
We'll see. You're about to get real busy in the world of life.
Yeah. Man, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Matt, I think I need to start off the podcast by apologizing to Mags about the Thunder Force MCU reference, because she's going to rip on me right now about the upcoming movie, so I'm just getting it out of the way early.
I will be ripping. Yes, I will be. And I appreciate the apology. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome. I took credit when Maggie actually was the one who was like, hey, isn't that
Mantis
from the MCU? I was like, yep. She's like, look, I just found your MCU tie-in.
Yeah, and I got 0 credit when you guys potted about it. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Here
0. Yep.
Well, I apologize, too, for Mike's inappropriate behavior.
Thanks, because you're in charge of him.
Yeah,
so.
I am.
You got to keep your leash tighter, buddy.
All these miles away, I'm just like, Mike, what's going on here? Mags was the one that did it, not you.
Yep. From now on, most of my MCU tie-ins, I didn't really find it.
Oh. Right, the internet will have found it. I think this is the second, maybe third MCU tie-in that I've found. It was this particular Gunpowder Milkshake, which we will be discussing.
So, do you think it's because Mike sleeps through, like, all of the movies? Or...
I don't know.
You're just more observant?
I cannot say that. No. I don't know. I think I've watched the Marvel movies enough to recognize some of the characters. I'm not, for those of you who do not know me, which is pretty much everybody.
That's not true.
I am not
know
necessarily. You do, but the listeners don't know me, sir. So I am not what you would call a film nerd. I am your average, run-of-the-mill film watcher who most of the time enjoys them because I'm just there for entertainment. And
would you say you're film adjacent?
I am. Yeah, I guess so. I'm film adjacent because I still call them movies. You guys are the film nerds. I'm doing air quotes here, folks. Film nerds. I'm just someone who watches movies and I enjoy them. So, yep.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here.
I'm still pretty sure you're nerdy about other things, though.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yep.
Like riding crotch rockets with Mike on the back?
Definitely. He's my bitch.
You heard it. Yeah. You heard it here. I'm not the only one that said it on this podcast now.
Yep. I like it back there. It's nice. It's not a lot of, I don't have to worry about much. Just hold on,
Right. I can take all the bugs.
Yeah, less wind resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just have to hold on and then try not to lean the wrong way. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
That's the most important thing.
All right, so Real Film Nerds episode number 231. It was my pick, a Netflix original Gunpowder Milkshake, a.k.a. Jon Wick for women. Mike, go ahead, give us the rundown.
All right, man. So this was directed by Navo Papashadu and written by the same person with Ewan Levinsky. And this movie is starring Karen Gillan, Lena Headey. Lena Headey.
There's no L, Mike.
Hetty.
All right.
It's like Hedy Lamar.
All right.
Headley. Anyway.
Headley. Sorry. Carla Gugino, Michelle Yu, Paul Giamatti. Yeah. And
oh, come on, Angela Bassett. Jesus, you can't leave her out.
oh yeah, Angela Bassett. Yeah.
He didn't scroll over far enough to see her.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
have to scroll. I know she's a well-known actress.
Ouch. There goes my nerd.
Yep. You're no longer a nerd. You're just a geek.
Nerd status revoked.
All right. 3 generations of women fight back against those who could take everything from them.
Boom. There it is.
All right. Well, we'll go with Mag's first impressions.
Oh, man. No pressure. All right. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was great to see a bunch of women kicking ass, especially kicking ass of men. That was pretty fun. I liked some of the comedy in it. I thought it was a very well done, very different with the, okay, see, this is where I'm just like an average movie watcher, like the style. I don't even know what you call the style of it. Kind of Kill Bill-ish.
No, you're getting it. You're doing it. You're doing it right. Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's my impression. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a good time.
Mike, you want to go next? Or you want me to?
Sure, I can go next. Yeah, like Mag said, it's kind of Kill Bill-ish mixed with Jon Wick, and it's pretty stylized. There's a lot of blue and reds used a lot in this movie. It was very, I don't know, I thought it was fun. I thought this movie was great. I was pleasantly surprised with how good it was and kind of fun and different.
All right. Well, I get to be the asshole then.
Oh, sweet. Bring it, Matt.
No, I picked the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I thought it was tons of action. I think it's almost too much of a clone of Jon Wick in a lot of aspects. So, for instance, in Jon Wick, I'll try not to get into spoilers too much, but in Jon Wick, they have the Colonial, I think, or whatever, the hotel where everybody stays, and that's where you get your stuff and your guns and all that stuff. Well, clearly that's what the library is in this film. It's very similar. It's trying to hide of what it is. Having the firm in this film, which is an organization where they have, an organization in Jon Wick where it's all assassins. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not super original. The way that they did the things was really cool. I really liked the book gimmick, which we'll get into later. The problem with that is they just kept doing it over and over and over and over and over. It's like, okay, great. Do it 3 times. That's enough, not 25. One thing I really enjoyed, much like you guys have said, the style, the cinematography, I really enjoyed. It's very colorful. It's very bright. They shot it in almost like a dreamlike state. It's bigger than life. It's more dramatic. It's just very lovely, and the cinematography is one of my favorite parts of this film. The acting as well, I thought was great. Karen Gillan is really starting to prove herself as a female lead action star. I mean, Jumanji, first and second one, she did great, but this, she blew it out of the park.
Matt, I'm going to interrupt you here real quick. Did you get the MCU tie-in for this
of course.
movie?
Off the bat. I knew it before we watched the movie.
Okay. How can you say that she's just starting?
When I say just starting, it's more of along the lines of she's getting a starring role. So, for instance, in MCU,
right.
she's not a star. Jumanji.
Okay, we'll get to that in a minute, right?
Right.
When you get the
Right. When we get that. Jumanji, she's not a star. She's one of the 4 stars, but in this movie, she is front and center. She is the equivalent of Keanu Reeves in Jon Wick. She is the star, period. No one else is.
Yeah.
So that's
Fair
what
enough.
I mean by it.
Gotcha.
All right, Matt. I think with that, I think I need to ask you a question. What are you drinking this fine morning, afternoon, or evening?
Good night. Oh, wait, that's Truman Show. All right, I am drinking just beers that I have in the fridge. It happens to be a Texas beer that I've drank several times so far. I'm drinking a Shinerbach. I love me some Shinerbachs.
Oh, all right, man. Very good. I am drinking a Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium, and it's their Juicy Hazy IPA.
Megs, I know you're not drinking an alcoholic beverage, but I know you're drinking something.
I am. I'm drinking some high quality H2O here.
Another wonderful film reference. Are you sure you don't earn the title of film nerd? Because you're laying it on pretty thick.
I guess I don't know. I have some big shoes to fill here.
Yes, that was a great reference to The Waterboy, starring Adam Sandler. It was good.
Thank you. Thank you, honey.
So
Yeah.
now saying big
No
shoes.
booze for me. A few more months. No booze.
Now, are you saying big shoes? Are you talking because Mike's feet are like clown feet?
Big
or...
feet. Big shoes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
She was like, whatever. I'll go along with
Are you
it.
trying to make this a phallic joke, Matt?
No, actually, I really wasn't. I was just trying to say that you have large feet, but...
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel like they're regular size.
Okay. But see, you have the same problem. Your foot is literally a foot, like me.
Yeah. You know, it's not so bad. I think you have the bigger feet.
I do.
And you've always had trouble finding shoes.
Not
a
anymore.
Lot more trouble. No?
Love
Yeah?
the internets.
You just order it on the lines?
Mm-hmm. And then if it don't fit, I send them back.
I thought if it don't fit, you must have quit.
Again, that's a different topic. That's another podcast that is not ours. This is not the true crime podcast, Mike. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Little O.J. Simpson reference. All right.
Yeah.
We're done.
Did you ever watch that show, by the way, the FX one?
I watched. Was that the one they put on Netflix?
No, it might be on Netflix. It was either Netflix or Hulu, but it was very good. It had John Travolta in it.
Oh, yeah. He was the lawyer, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was on Netflix. I think it was originally on FX, though, but
Yeah.
Netflix purchased it, yeah.
Yeah, I watched it as it came out on TV. I really thought they did a fantastic job. What mostly drew me towards it was the cast. I mean, Christ, they had a hell of a cast for that show. So, all right. So here's the real question. I guess I'll ask it because he's the one that's supposed to do it, but I know now, and so do our listeners know, who really finds out the answer to this question. Mike and Megs, how does Gunpowder Milkshake relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, Maddie Cakes, thank you for asking. I would like to go on record and say I was the first one to notice this particular tie-in, and it took my wonderful husband a little bit of time to figure out this particular tie-in. But it is Karen Gillan, the star of Gunpowder Milkshake. She is also Nebula, who is in several of the Marvel movies. I don't even know how many of them she's in, but she's in a lot of them. And with all that blue makeup, and robotic stuff, you wouldn't necessarily know it was her. But to me, it was her voice that gives it away. It's a very distinctive voice.
Yep. She has a very distinctive voice, and I've just known that it was Karen Gillan forever because, I don't know, I know probably too much about the Marvel Cinematic Universe at times.
Can you really know too much about it, though, Matt?
Maybe.
Because then when you go to trivia one night, you can impress all your friends.
I have to have friends in the first place, and then the second place I have to go to trivia too.
Right.
And the COVID stuff is coming back. It's rearing its ugly head, so the world's going to shut down again.
Sadly, yeah.
It does appear that way. I don't know how well the theaters are going to make out. I don't know. It's a little sad.
It is. I'm quite upset because as we'll get to later on in this podcast, not in this film, there is a film we're going to see in the theaters, and hopefully it's still open by Friday.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, Matt. But we will hold off on announcing what that movie is until a little bit later.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Megs is the one that picked it, because I wouldn't have picked it. Oh, she doesn't know. It looks like she doesn't know what movie it is.
I picked it. She does know. She just forgot.
Oh, okay. I was going to
say the Jungle Cruise.
Damn it, Mike! Yeah. You said you were going to hold off on it.
You baited me into it.
Okay. All right.
You're a master at that.
More than you know. My forearms are just painfully large.
You boys are fun.
See, this is why we have her on the show, to put us more in line.
No. You guys are fun without being in line.
Oh, okay, good. All right, good. But yeah, I'm just shocked you picked Jungle Cruise, because I think that movie's just going to be absolute crap. But we'll find out on Friday, because I talked my significant other into actually going to the theater with me on Friday. So we'll see how that goes. Granted, it might not happen because it's still early in the week, so she has plenty of days to bail. But we'll see.
Okay, Matt. Well, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've both been on that ride at Disneyland or Disney World or both, and it's pretty easy to kind of make a story out of that. So I think it's going to be fun and creative and good time. Emily Blunt, The Rock, should be good.
They did cast it right, that's for sure. So
can't go wrong, man. Those are two great actors. I think it's gonna be good.
Okay, so speaking of that, let's get back into the Gunpowder Milkshake. Spoilers. Who would like to spoil first?
So, Matt, I really, really, really liked the fight scene about mid-movie where our main character is disabled with her arms.
In the dentist's office? That's not a dentist's office? Yeah.
Yeah. That scene was fantastic. I think they shot that so well, and it was so neat to watch. I just thought it was a blast.
I thought it would be really fun to act it too. Like you gotta make sure you're not actually using the muscles in your arms. She's just whipping them around everywhere, like big limp Jello spaghetti arms. It was fun. It was funny.
In the video game world, they call it ragdoll, right?
Oh,
yes.
She ragdolled it. When was the last time Mike fired up his Xbox?
I truly could not tell you that.
It was for the last update. When was the last update?
Last week?
Okay, it was one many moons ago before that.
Okay, all right. I'm just harassing you, Mike. One day we will play games again. It's okay. I don't have time to play either. So one day I will blow the dust off and finish Grand Theft Auto 5, which is like a 5 or 6 year old game. So anyways, my favorite fight scene, to continue the theme, I really liked one of the more final fight scenes in the diner, mostly because it reminded me very much of The Matrix, crossed with that really fun scene from The Other Guys, where they kept rotating the camera around and it's taken forever and there's so much going on. If you're not paying attention at 10 different spots, you're going to miss something. I really like that scene. I thought that was great. Yes, it was extremely over the top. How the hell did someone smuggle in a couple of machetes? Like in, I guess, maybe on his back or something. I don't know. Everybody had knives, but they literally used a milkshake to kill a dude. I mean, awesome. So much fun.
Yeah. That was well shot. Very well choreographed, too.
Yeah, Matt, I think that diner was supposed to be kind of like the, was it the Colonial in Jon Wick, where it was supposed to be like off limits?
Right. No man's land, no guns or anything. Right.
Yeah, but
there were an awful lot of weapons.
Obviously, there can be exceptions. I don't know. There was tons of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing. I wish there was a little bit more build-up in this film, an explanation on what's going on. It was really long to begin with. In my opinion, it was over 2 hours. It started out strong. The middle kind of dragged, and then it finished really strong. I think they could have spent a little bit more time at the editing floor, getting some of the useless crap out of it, but that's my personal opinion.
I don't know. You're right. It was kind of long, but I felt it added to the story. I like seeing a lot of the stuff with the librarians and things, and some of the stuff maybe could have been a little less, but I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Oh, I love the librarians, man. I would have liked a lot more on the librarians. Like, after reading on IMDb for a little bit and getting the podcast website and stuff ready, Lena Headey's character is supposed to be the leader of like the librarians, and she abandoned all the other ones, and that's why they're all pissed at her, because she was like the head librarian or something. There's no explanation of that in the film, like, whatsoever, so it makes a little bit more sense.
There's a lot of no explanation in this film, but that's kind of just like Jon Wick. There's a lot of no explanation. You just kind of guess at what's going on, and I kind of think that's fun. I think it kind of leaves the door open. There were a lot of things about this movie that left the door open for a sequel. And if they don't ever do a sequel, you get to kind of make of it what you will. Now, some people love that. Some people hate that about movies, I guess it depends on the movie. For me, I liked being able to kind of pick what I think the backstory was about some of the things. I would have loved to hear more about it and see more about it. But like you said, it was 2 hours. So, how much could they do for backstory?
I definitely think there's going to be a sequel. When, who knows? But I definitely think they'll make a sequel because I think it's doing well on Netflix. It's been in the top 10 on my queue and everything that I've seen when I've clicked on Netflix the past few days. About the building up of the background, a lot of that background information we have from Jon Wick is because there's 3 films now. They keep building and building and building the lore. So I think maybe, when we get a second and possibly a third one, we'll probably know a heck of a lot more than we do today.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the strongest reasons for the potential for a sequel is because the little 8 and 3/4-year-old girl in this movie, that really kind of sets it up for the next generation of these assassin women, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I just had a blast with this movie, man. I didn't really know what to expect, man. I'll be honest, the title, to me is not the best way to sell this movie.
It's very much like a comic book title without a comic book or without the lore behind the comic book. It's just kind of a goofy title for a really badass action film. Maybe if they would have called it The Librarians or, I don't know, something else like that, maybe it'd be a little bit better, but I agree.
Yeah, when Mike was like, do you want to watch this movie? It's called Gunpowder Milkshake. I was very much like, what? So, yes, it's an odd title. But once you watch the movie, they do, it kind of makes sense. I mean, there is, milkshakes kind of take a little bit of a role in this movie.
A murderous role.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, well, that's for like a half of a second.
But
Yeah.
I think that's just something to do with the diner and the young female assassins or would-be assassins, because it does keep reoccurring throughout. In the backstory, in the present day, you keep seeing, the diner and how important that is to this world. And the milkshake is clearly a product at the diner. And what's interesting is if you take a look in the back at some of the scenes in the diner, there's some interesting words and things on the menu. There's like fight and like, all kinds of fun little quirky things.
Didn't notice that.
They're out of focus. It's kind of hard to read, but
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, part of a lot of the stylized parts of this movie were interesting because it's like there's several times when you go to the diner and it's raining, and that's kind of like it's gonna be a rough, like sad or something's going on there different. And then other times you go there and it's like sunset, and it's like they're very meticulously chosen what is happening when you go there. So like there's a lot of like things like that in this movie. Like when you go to the doctor's office, everything's like super, super white. Like it's color was very used,
very
a lot in
fluorescent.
this.
Yeah.
Very. The bowling alley.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy. That was fluorescent.
Oh, I loved that the name of it was Gutterball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she put on that jacket and wore it for the rest of the movie. That was pretty good.
Yeah. That was good too.
Although her first outfit was pretty interesting. The typical assassin, big, long leather trench coat with a big, giant, funky hat that really hid who she was. But
Yeah, as the female perspective here, I saw that outfit and I was like, seriously, guys? Like, come on.
it was Matrix, right? Coming out.
Who's gonna fight in that? Like,
Yeah.
It was like a jumper, like a full body sort of suit that she was wearing with some weird boots. And I don't know. I mean, it's a movie. So, they get to dress the characters however the heck they want to dress them.
So you're
wasn't
you're more about
cup of
the
tea.
jacket and the
Yeah.
shorts. Yeah. More practical.
Yeah. I'm a shorts and t-shirt kind of gal. I'm definitely not a stylistic woman. So, yeah, I think that the bowling jacket is much more up my alley.
Oh!
What a bump.
That's it, Mike.
Dad jokes.
You're replaced. She's got better jokes than you.
Boom.
Dude, she's got so many dad jokes. She kills me. Like, I mean, I got nothing.
It's mom jokes now.
Yep. It's mom jokes.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome, listener. Yeah, I'm full of those. So if you don't like those, we're not going to be friends.
So if you want to send in your mom jokes, Mags
Yes,
at Real Film Nerds.
please. Please. I love terrible jokes, especially punny ones. They're great.
Okay, so not punny jokes. How many reels?
Ooh. I'm coming out strong. I'm giving this movie 4 reels.
Wow.
Yeah.
4 reels. Is Mike going to be the surprise shocker and give high reels again, much like last week with 4.5? Jude, seriously, I don't remember the last time you gave a 4.5.
I know, I didn't either. So I decided that I need to, I don't know, but I also enjoyed that movie quite a bit, and I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Maybe it's just right now
You're enjoying life.
I'm enjoying life. Yes. So I'm gonna give this 4 reels from me.
Well, you know what's really awesome about this? Is that this is only going to be like 1 sentence in the description that I have to write for the podcast later on today, because I also give it 4 out of 5 reels because I freaking loved it.
Whoa! Yay!
Wow. All right. Well, see, you were playing us. You were trying to say that you didn't like this movie.
No, I liked it a lot. There's just several things that I wasn't a huge fan of that could have been tightened up and could have been fixed. But overall, I mean, Mike and I harp about it all the time. Story is a big part. This had a wonderful story. For me, being a super visual person, style and cinematography is huge, and that really was great in this film, and that brought it up for me. And then third's probably acting, and the acting was very good too. I mean, look at the star-studded cast in this. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah, I Totally agree. I thought that the story, and when I listened to your podcast, you guys, I'm completely in agreement with you. The story is so important. If the story sucks, doesn't matter how good the cinematography is, doesn't matter how great the acting is, the movie's going to suck. And this story was really good. And especially because it was all chicks kicking ass. And I loved that. Seriously. There's even, they called the guys who were supposed to be the men, who were also supposed to be assassins and stuff. They called them boneheads.
Yeah.
And they totally acted like boneheads. And it was great.
Oh, and I thought it was kind of ridiculous how they hauled them around in a school bus.
Oh yeah. Those guys. Yep.
It was just like, yeah, so clearly, this movie knows exactly what these guys are. They are cannon fodder. Let's just make sure we have enough of it.
Yeah, the second scene, with the fight and her arms are numb, but it was great because the characters in that were all like high on the nitrous oxide.
Oh yeah,
and it was just. It was a fun. They did that stuff great, man. That was just a fun scene. Like,
it was funny to watch. They're literally in the middle of killing people, but it's funny. They're laughing. I'm laughing about it now. It was good. It was good.
And the dentist is trying to reprimand him, and then he's like, "This is for pain," and then he takes a big old huff too. So,
yeah,
good times. Good times. Everybody loves laughing gas.
Yeah. And the scene before that at the bowling alley where it's, her against the three boneheads, she's just taking them to the cleaners. I particularly enjoyed when she used a bowling ball and like bowled into one of the guy's faces, knocked him out. That was good.
Yeah. I think one thing I forgot to talk about in spoilers was the use of the Universal monsters outfits for the other robber guys.
Oh, yeah.
The ones that had like Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolfman. I thought that was great, and I thought that was kind of original. But we knew nothing about why they knew that this guy had access to like so much money, and like it was a little bit, I mean, I guess it's just cloaked in mystery like a lot of the movie has, but they also didn't put up much of a fight. Like that seemed a little like there was like kind of a decent buildup for them, and then it was like kind of terrible. They like ran into well, I guess there was infighting, but it just seemed kind of lackluster for that part.
That was lackluster, but it ended up making it kind of funny because she just she's chasing these guys down, going back after the money that they just stole. And she doesn't have to do anything. She literally just stands back and watches while they kill each other. It was great.
Yeah, lets them finish the job. She uses her brain, which is rare in action movies.
What a beautiful weapon to use. A smart woman's brain. It's great.
Well, yeah, because usually it's guys, and we got no brain.
I plead the fifth.
It's just, sometimes the blood's flowing to the wrong brain on you folks. So just saying. Too much testosterone.
Is this going back to earlier?
With me riding on the back? No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fine.
All right. Well, I think that comes to a close of the old Real Film Nerds podcast, episode number 231, Gunpowder Milkshake. Next week, Mike's pick, Jungle Cruise, Rock, Emily Blunt. Only in theaters, or you can pay a really giant fee to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's like Disney Plus because you pay for the service and then you pay again. It's good. It's nice. How does Disney make money, Matt? I don't know.
They make a lot of money. They're doing well. I don't think they're hurting whatsoever.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm stoked for this one, Matt. This might be one of those movies that's like Pirates of the Caribbean, which I thought would be absolute garbage and was great. Now the rest of the ones aren't so great, but the first one was great.
Dude, that first one was fan-frickin-tastic. Johnny Depp was a major factor of that, but I love how much of the ride they snuck in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It was gold. I mean, because everybody just related to it so easily. That's one we probably should put down on our future reviews when we get back to doing legacies. It's been a while since we've done a legacy, but there's just so much freaking content coming out. It's hard to say no to new stuff.
Yeah. I mean, especially being summer and kind of the summer of more open things, so they're just trying to get everything off the books and trying to make some money. These studios have been sitting on these movies for a year or more, depending on the different movies. Like, the actors probably don't even remember they were in it.
Interesting thing, my brother-in-law were talking about it before I hopped on the pod. Speaking of which, I was just down there this weekend for the game, and here, Mike, just to show you how many more I have to go. It's pretty ridiculous. But
for those who can't see, he just held up probably like 40 claims. Of these digital. Of what the heck do you call them? Yes, claims. Thank you. Digital claims. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Folks.
He buys a lot of movies. But my brother-in-law was pointing out that all the new movies this year that have come out, like A Quiet Place 2, Spiral, stuff like that was supposed to come out last year, and it's just now coming out that the Blu-ray releases are literally like 30 days from the day they release in the theater, because there's just warehouses full of these Blu-rays that have been ready to go since last year.
Oh man, that's crazy. It's not a problem you really think about.
No, I didn't even think of that. And he's right on the money.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're just trying to offload, like, there's, several reasons, right? They spent all these money to make the Blu-rays, and they're just sitting, gathering dust, taking up space that they have to rent. So anything they can to get rid of them. So the 30-day window might just start to be kind of permanent, where 30 days from when the movie comes out in the theater, it might be available on Blu-ray. I know the video on demand kind of has something like that, but I don't remember the exact window. But the windows are getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah. So pay attention.
I remember.
Because you might be able to pick up some of these movies fairly inexpensively, fairly quickly in the stores, at Target and Walmart and stuff. So interesting.
Do you guys remember when, way back when, in the Stone Age, when you had to go to the video rental store to rent yourself a movie? It was a solid year from the time that movie came out in the movie theater to the time it was out on VHS. Yes, folks, VHS, that's a thing, or it was a thing. It was a long time. Now we've got 30-day gaps. It's crazy.
Mike and I remember that very vividly. We used to have specific days, Fridays, we would go and rent movies. And if Blockbuster didn't have it, we typically would hit Hastings first, and then Blockbuster was closer to our house, so it depended how far we wanted to ride our bikes. But we'd always hit them both up on Fridays and rent at least
Riding
something.
Bikes, yeah. Yep. Good stuff. On like Tuesdays, it was like $1 rental days for us. Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh man, Hastings was the jam, and it was 49 cents.
Ooh.
Yep, 49 cents. That's how we saw so many movies growing up.
No longer. Now you pay Disney Plus $40 million to watch things immediately right in the convenience of your own home. No riding bikes anymore, folks.
Nope.
To the video store.
Miss those days.
Yeah, Matt, the internet was invented, but was not widely available at the time, especially in our little town. It was not going to be making its way to us for a few more years.
Hey, we used it. It just was 28.8 for way longer than it should have been. But
well, yeah, and also the internet of that day was text.
Yeah.
With little teeny pictures.
Yep. But you could do a lot with those pictures. You just had to, very pixelated. All right, I'll stop. I'm getting the look.
Do I want to know what you're referencing here, man?
When we were playing video games.
I don't think so.
Right, Mike?
Oh, all right.
Quake?
All right.
Yes, video games in chat. Remember instant chat? IRC?
Yep.
Man, it's good times.
IRC, man. AIM. Oh, yeah. And then I had the one, ICQ. I had the one that did like all of them. because there were so many chats coming out. It was hard to manage all of them. I was thinking about that the other day. Our names that we had are what they call gamer tags now, you know, and that's how Mike used to wish me happy birthday in school. You remember that?
By your gamer tag?
Yep. I did it a couple times too.
Which was...
Mine was awesome. It was Alien X.
Alien X?
Yep. Alien
All
with
right.
3 dashes and then a big X. And Mike, what was yours?
I can't remember.
How do you not remember? It was Voodoo.
He's got a big grin on his
you
face.
goober. It was Voodoo, but he didn't know how to spell it.
I guess not much has changed there, honey.
Nope.
Yeah, you can tell the school taught me lots.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Arizona Public Schools.
Mine was go insane. And you could either use that for going sane or go insane. I thought I was super clever.
It is. It is very clever.
It is, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Thanks.
And then Mike's current gamer tag is a combination of movie characters.
That's true, man.
And mine is related to my former career, so.
Yes, that's also
Yep.
true. I don't think I want to drop it in case we have any kind of people that want to be my friend and I'm never on the Xbox.
Yeah, well, I could use friends on Xbox. I don't have many. But yeah, mine's Paparazzi Killer.
Nice.
Yeah, because I did not like the paparazzi.
Okay. All right.
All right, well, I think we've jabbered enough. We're getting better at putting our jabbering at the end of the pod, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I concur with your assessment.
Sometimes there is some jabbering that goes on between you two. Like anal scrubbing, itching, scratching, anal scratching from a couple pods ago. That was a fun little detour you took out all the listeners on. Made me chuckle.
Real Film Nerd episode number 229, I think. 228, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt, remember the time you asked me about if a fart had ever woken me up from my sleep?
Yes, that was one of the best discussions ever. It was one of my favorites.
Whether it was the noise or the smell.
Matt, do you want to ask me if I've ever been woken up?
Yeah. So, Max, have you ever been woken up by the smell or the noise of one of Mike's farts?
Last night.
Last night. Now, which one was it? Do I want to know? Did you have to run to the bathroom?
I don't know. Do you want to know? Do you boys want to know which one it was?
Well, might as well.
If I had to guess, I'm going, just knowing Mike and growing up with him, I'm going smell. All day long.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It was the smell.
I knew it.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, we have fun.
Sounds like it. I'm really glad I'm missing out on some of that.
No, I'm talking about this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Where this is fun. Yes, I'm laughing and it's fun.
Well, good.
Anyway, we've jibber jabbered enough now, right? Is
Yeah,
that
sure.
I think
Why
so.
not?
I think so. Yeah. Well, look forward to next week's pod with Emily Blunt and The Rock, Jungle Cruise, reviewing that. And I guess with that, Matt, we'll let everybody go. So thanks for listening, everybody, and catch us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and go out there, catch some movies, either on the streaming over the internets or at the theater. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.
Here we go.
Do 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 do.
That's the intro music. I love it. What do you think? You like that music? It's free.
It's upbeat. Yeah, it's fine.
Everyone says it reminds them of Seinfeld.
He's here, the one, the only. Matt Hinshaw from the Real Film Nerds podcast on Magic 99.1. Good morning, Matty.
Hi, Eliza.
Is that what I sound like?
No.
No.
That's from It.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I liked it. One of your eyebrows raised when you did it, too.
You liked it, huh?
I liked it a lot.
Good, huh?
Yeah. You showed enthusiasm, a little bit of sarcasm, all rolled up into a hefty hello.
I mean, I got these nice, pretty pink flowers next to me. How can I not be enthusiastic?
Yeah, they look lovely. They compliment you.
They
for
match
sure.
my black shirt.
They really do. They pop. Hey, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, great. You saw a movie over the weekend that you're going to share with us, correct?
On the Netflix.
On the Netflix.
The Gunpowder Milkshake.
Gunpowder Milkshake. Tell me, what'd you think?
It's a John Wick ripoff.
It is.
It is.
So if you've seen Jon Wick, don't bother.
No, I think you'll enjoy it. It's you definitely will not like it because it's nonstop action from start to finish.
Well, I don't mind the action. I don't like the violence.
Okay, well, there's lots of violence with the action.
Okay.
Lots of
violent
murder.
action. Okay. Yeah, no, they'll probably pass on Gunpowder Milkshake.
So it has a lot of action at the start. It kind of lulls in the middle, and then it just has this massive finale of pure action and
violence.
Death. Yes.
Okay.
So it's a woman power kind of assassin film, very much in
women
the vein
killers.
They're female assassins.
Like that.
They work for this organization called The Firm. The Firm kind of goes up against them. It's very reminiscent of the John Wick world. Mm-hmm. They have an area where they go and get their various things to help them do their murdering. Yeah. And it's called the Library. That's very reminiscent of John Wick and the hotel that he has in there that he goes to and stays and all that stuff. Right. So it was good. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. The action is incredible. It's very good. Karen Gillan did a very good job. She's quickly becoming an action star, which is nice.
That's cool.
And then Lena Headey from Game of Thrones plays her mom, which was a little weird because they're not
the same age.
Yeah, they're not that much different in age.
Right.
But, it is what it is. I mean, it had a great cast. I would have liked to see a little bit more Paul Giamatti in it, but I don't know. You get what you get.
You get what you get.
But it was entertaining. It's definitely worth a watch. I think it would have been fun in the theater just because of all the action. Mm-hmm. If you like John Wick, you like these hardcore action assassin movies, I say check it out. One thing I really liked is how they shot it. It was very dreamy, very dreamlike, very storybook, very colorful, just very interesting how they shot it. One thing I didn't like, they had a very good soundtrack, but they had this one theme song. And they keep playing it repeatedly, and it starts getting really obnoxious towards the end of the movie. And it's like, okay, great. Well, here comes the action because here comes the theme song,
Okay. All right. So, how many reels are you going to give it?
It might be a little high, but I had fun. I enjoyed it. I give it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. That is high. Wow.
It's a little high, but I enjoy it.
Okay, fair enough.
It's cool seeing, a bunch of ladies really kick some butt.
Yes, well, that part I would like, for sure. Okay, very good. Again, that was called Gunpowder Milkshake. You can catch it on Netflix.
Yep.
And what are we going to talk about next week?
So next week it is my co-host's pick.
Right.
And we are going to have to go to the theaters. I feel like he's becoming a wussy in his old age.
What do you think?
He wants to go see The Jungle Cruise.
Well, who doesn't want to see The Jungle Cruise? The Rock is in it.
Well, so what? I love The Rock, but it's not Fast and Furious.
Yeah, no, it is not. It is not. Okay.
Well, I like Emily Blunt, and I'm pretty sure that's why he picked it, is because he really likes Emily Blunt.
Yeah. Yes. I bet you'll enjoy it. Give it a gander.
We'll find out. I got to carve out some time
to
go see it. Maybe I'll just go Friday morning or something. I don't know.
Perfect.
I'll just skip out on work. I'll play hooky.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do. All right. Very good. Check out the podcast. It's called The Real Film Nerds. Maddie, as always, thanks for coming in.
Lisa, it was a pleasure.
You're welcome.